Stay in the state of Louisiana and we go to the capital city, Baton Rouge. We're joined by the head coach of the Southern University women's basketball team, Carlos Funches. Coach, thanks for joining us. First of all, I mean, COVID-19 has really decimated the city of Baton Rouge. How, as a coach, have you been able to cope and overcome everything from the COVID-19 restrictions?
Well, originally we thought that the kids were going to get an opportunity to come back sometime in March. So most of them left and went home 2 or 3 days after that Friday, which was, I think, March the 7th, thinking that in 2 weeks we would maybe come back. But that 2 weeks turned into 3 or 4 months, So, it's trying to do virtual things and doing some Zoom things and just trying to keep them informed. That was my biggest thing. Make sure that they were informed and kind of had an idea what was going on from a staff standpoint, what we were looking at and what our expectations were out of them once the summer got started as far as conditioning and different things like that. But, it's been really interesting and we've learned a lot. Just trying to stay prepared for anything at any time. That's the biggest thing that we've gathered out of this.
How different has it been dealing with COVID as your husband and a father and communicating with your players that, some things out there may not be true, but this is true. Wear your mask, do all those things. How difficult has it been to constantly communicate that to your group of young ladies?
Working with Coach Banks, he's been really, really strict about making sure that we followed all the protocols and making sure our kids are going to be safe as far as wearing masks, not going to large gatherings, all the things that the CDC has been saying. We've been trying to follow all those protocols. Right now and so far, we hadn't had any positive tests. We test our young ladies once a week, and we've been blessed and fortunate enough not to have any kids that test positive.
When you look at your team, were you able to add some pieces, and what was needed that you lost from last season?
The big thing was we lost a lot of three-point shooting. We had Jaden Towner, who was an extremely good three-point shooter. We actually lost her before the season was over. She missed the last 6 games with a foot injury. And Brittany, she could flat out struggle with the best of them. So we lost those two. I think we did a good job as far as getting 2 people in that could replace them. Tanisha Metcalf, she can really shoot, and she's coming from one of the strongest programs in Mississippi, in the junior college at East Mississippi Community College, and she did a great job for them. They actually won the state championship. And then, you look at Jordan Akins. She's about 6'2". She's going to be replacing Jaden Towner's position right there. She's a stretch 4. She can really shoot the basketball also. So I think we did a great job filling in the pieces that we lost last year, and we're looking to have a big year.
They have some people that say that there must be a secret sauce at Southern University because you take young ladies who have played a lot of minutes at a lot of different schools and you ask them to basically concentrate it. You're not playing as many minutes, but when you're out there to maximize that effort, how do you get that philosophy across to them and get them to buy in?
Well, the biggest thing is, it's a team for a reason, and you have to be selfless. I was looking at the Los Angeles Lakers a couple of days ago. Dwight Howard started one game, and then last night he didn't play a minute. But you always got to be ready to go. You have to work extremely hard. You got to be ready when coach calls on you and fulfill your role. Everybody has a role. Some nights one person might play a little bit longer than the other person, but you got to cheer your teammate on because your time is coming. Just be ready, buy into the system. And if you have it going one night, you might play 30 minutes. If your teammate has it going one night and plays the same position, they might play 30 minutes. So you have to be selfless because everybody gets a ring at the end of the year, when you win a championship.
Very true. Your coaching style, has it been altered due to COVID-19 protocols? Do you have to dial it back a bit? Do you have to do your best to remind yourself, I need to social distance, don't high five as much? What do you have to do now?
Well, with us getting tested, we feel fairly safe. Now, us as coaches, we do wear our mask. Our players, when they're going through workouts and different things, we don't require them to wear their mask. Now we've been going in 4-man groups, 4-lady groups, breaking them down, and we've been following, like I say, the protocols as far as disinfecting and doing different things like that to try to stay safe. We always talk to our young ladies about, even when they're in the dormitory or in their apartment, just trying to kind of stay isolated and making sure everybody's wearing masks and doing the proper things that it's going to take to get through this season.
When you look at the conference, how many teams do you think have a very good chance of competing for the title along with yourself?
Without a doubt, it's going to be at least 4 or 5 teams, especially with this COVID going on. If the wrong person has to isolate for 10 to 14 days, I mean, that could cost you 2 or 3 games, so it's going to take a team effort. So anything can happen. We just, want to try to stay safe and complete the season.
All right, Coach, we thank you so very much and good luck to you this season.
Thank you, James.
First of all, thank you for joining us. And how has life been altered since COVID-19? I know you already had to take your mask off, but how different has it been for you since March?
It's been very scary. We had to test a lot, paranoid. A lot of our classes has been moved to Zoom, and so the college life has been changed tremendously. So it's crazy.
Take me back to March 12th when you were on that bus ride and you were like, hey, we're ready to go and get this championship, this tournament title. And when they got off that Sherwood Forest off ramp and said, we're about to turn around, what was going through your mind?
Well, I was asleep on the bus, but when they woke us up, and we was like, y'all serious? And then we had to drive all the way back. But it was kind of I don't know, not heartbreaking, but we was upset because we wanted to go for that championship.
During the time off, how have you been able to stay in shape? And how have you been able to stay away from the virus, the COVID-19 virus?
We really just practice social distancing, wearing our masks, hand sanitizer and stuff. As far as working out, a lot of the gyms was closed, so most of the stuff was conditioning, running outside and stuff.
Where you had a mile marker, you said you wanted to get 2 miles a day, 3 miles a day. What were you trying to do?
Well, when I was here, I was running the hump 10 times. And when I was back at home, I just was running until I was dog tired.
I understand. Do you think the Zoom calls, even though you got a lot of young ladies coming back from last season, but did all the Zoom calls bring you closer together as a group?
In a certain type of way, but I'm used to coming here during the summer and actually physically bonding with one of my teammates. So it was kind of weird.
When you look at the philosophy of Southern women's basketball, it's not asking a particular player to play a lot of minutes, but you want to maximize your effort, the minutes that you have on the court. How difficult was it to buy into that, and how does that help your team win games?
I really don't think it was difficult. We always play as a team. That's how our coach us. So it was easy to buy into the system.
Okay. For you personally, what do you think that you have to improve on to make yourself better than what you were last year on the court?
I think I can work on shooting more constantly. Coach Fletch is looking at me.
You want so do you? Is he asking you to shoot more, or do you want to shoot more?
Well, I feel my role is just ripping to the basket, trying to beat the girls off the dribble. But I think I would be more of a threat if I was to have a consistent mid-range shot.
I hear you. Looking at this season, what will it take for Southern women to hoist that trophy in March and call themselves champions?
I believe everybody just working as a team, going out there, doing your absolute best, no matter the score, and just giving it y'all.
Okay. All right. Well, we thank you so very much, and good luck to you this season.
Thank you for having me.